of the morning, and thank you for joining us this great Monday morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio and your state's number one family radio station. Today is Monday, the 22nd day in the month of December 2025. We say thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for tuning in. It's 2 days to Christmas. Compliment of the season to you, and I hope that you and yours is doing great this morning. It's definitely going to be a blessed week for all of us. Amen. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. This is Perspectives Unlimited, the program where we take you beyond the news to help you make sense of stories, understand them better with in-depth analysis. We serve you the front page stories also from major dailies. And of course, you can also go online and read up more or call your vendor to bring you the hard copy of the daily for today. Once again, welcome to the program. All right, let's start with the front page of the Punch newspaper for today, the 22nd day in the month of December. Nigeria suffers nearly 1 trillion export loss after Trump tariff. Nigeria shrinks into 3.15 trillion naira trade deficit with the United States as export falls. That's on the top side of the Punch newspaper for today. You find it on page 7 of that daily. On page 45, military rolls out anti-attack measures for Christmas on page 45. On page 9, Auditor General flags 288 billion naira INEC spending under Yakubu. PDP crisis, Turaki block 6 court order to unseal secretariat on page 9. Akpabio takes Natasha suspension case to the Supreme Court. The story is on page 8 this morning on the Punch. And of course, this is a message, a greeting, we'll call that, or a charge. Christmas is not a moment. It is a moment towards kindness and common purpose. General Olufemi Oluyede, the Chief of Defense Staff, with his photograph right there on the Punch for today. Now, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune published for today. Utide Defense Headquarters, the police orders deploy more men in strategic locations. The writer to the story says Army kills 21 terrorists, intercept logistics in Borno. Army kills 21 terrorists, intercepts logistics in Borno. On page 27, remaining abducted Niger school student regain freedom. That story is on page 27. And on page 13, why Nigeria's banking giant are buying more shares to secure power profit on page 13. And on page 4, gridlock on major road, travelers stranded for hours, lamentation on Lokoja, Abuja, Beni Asaba, Lagos Island roads, normal traffic flow restored, says Umai. And to politics here, APC to hold national convention in March, releases timetable for ward, local government, state, zonal congresses on page 23. And on page 7, 2026 budget, federal government 6% allocation for education below UNESCO World Bank benchmark. And finally, on the Nigerian Tribune, Dangote Refinery launches nationwide PMS sale at 739 naira per litre. And that's all we can take this morning on the front page. We read from the Punch and of course the Nigerian Tribune for this morning. We want to especially thank you again for joining us on the program today. Find us on our Facebook platform, which is Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. Wells Radio 893 FM fan page. That's our Facebook page. You can watch us live right there on Facebook. Share your comment, like the video, and of course share the video so we can reach a bigger and wider audience using the Facebook platform. When it is time, the studio lines will also be open for you to share your thought and perspective on the program for today. Welcome on board. All right, you're welcome back to the program. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Perspectives Unlimited. Today is Monday, the 22nd day in the month of December 2025. From our studio, it is 6:41 a.m. My name is Ayo Emmanuel-Ojo. With me in the studio this morning to help us understand and make sense of the stories, some of it with what time can permit us to look at this morning. Chukwemeka Munachiso joins me. Good morning to you, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good morning. How are you doing and how was your weekend?
The weekend was fine and I'm always doing well by the special grace of God.
We thank God. Any special outing, special activity this weekend?
No, I was home. I didn't go anywhere because my children all came around and there's a full house. So
you're ready for Christmas?
It's a full house. Yeah. Everybody's home.
I can imagine.
I'm no longer home alone.
Good to hear that. Good to hear that. Let me comment about, and I know that I've shared this with you before, and I don't know if you've been to Ogun State in recent times. That's the Bado-Abeokuta Road. I'd like to speak about that.
Yeah, you see, before you, you see, I was supposed to follow some people to Abeokuta over the week, but because of this work on Saturday, I normally have roundtable.
By the way, I was actually in Abeokuta.
Yes, you were speculating
and
whether to go or not to go.
Or not to go.
Yes, you told me.
The same team you mentioned, I was actually coming behind them, coincidentally.
Okay. And the one of the people that traveled came over yesterday. We were talking. He mentioned how terrible the road is.
Oh my goodness!
I've been hearing of. Beggar Mario has been lamenting about this. All the time.
The same team you mentioned. Two vehicles were on the road.
Imagine.
One. But I was quite worried about the longer one. Because of the state of the road.
The road.
The SUV or the cars may be able to manipulate and stabilize, but I was very concerned about the longer one because the road is very
terribly bad.
It's when you get to Kila, there's a place where the rail line.
I know Kila. I lived in Kila before.
That area is totally
cut off.
It's totally off. The bitumen is off. There's a big ditch down there.
We've said this severally, and somebody called to challenge us that the governor is on top of the situation.
From
Abeokuta to Ibaro here shouldn't take 45 minutes.
It shouldn't even take you.
It shouldn't even talk up to that.
And it becomes a bigger issue when you get to Oshele. From Oshele up until you get to Abiala Way, like you are going to Adato and the likes. Oh my goodness!
But Ayo, is it federal road or state road?
I believe it should be federal. That's like the only gateway that connects Abeokuta, the state capital, to Ibadan, another state capital, right? And so it's horrible inside of it's more horrible inside of Abeokuta.
You see, Ayo, that is why
I'm just wondering
that's why we keep asking the fuel subsidy we removed. What do we need? What are the proceeds for? That's the question, because we hear critical infrastructure. Is that not critical infrastructure? It's part of it, but we can't see these things done. Yesterday, as I was talking with the person, I told the person, I said, look, that I've been hearing about that route. That is terrible.
You need to see it for yourself. It's nothing to write home about. It's nothing to write home about. I just hope that we're in Oyo State, yes, but if you're very influential and you have power in Ogun State, please call the attention of the governor, Prince Dapo Abiodun. I just wonder if the governor is coming to Ibadan.
He will fly.
Where exactly would the governor follow?
No,
maybe the governor would have to go through. I mean, since he will be coming from Okelewo, he would rather go through the Shagamu interchange and follow the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. But
that's a longer one.
Well, is that the way to go? Exactly. This is more narrow, but I believe it's faster. Except for the state of the road, then Lagos-Ibadan Expressway will be a faster alternative. But we shouldn't abandon one because we have an alternative. We should ensure that all corridors connecting Nigeria together.
If that road is built or repaired, it will even boost economic activities.
Absolutely. Look at the market at Kila
market.
And the accident that happened on that road because of the state of the road. It is something else entirely. God heal our land and call our leaders' attention to the right things to do. Let's start this morning, Chukwemeka, with this story on the Punch. Military rolls out anti-attack measures for Christmas celebration. The Defense Headquarters has announced that proactive measures are now in place to prevent attacks during the Christmas festivities across Nigeria. In a statement on Sunday, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Michael Onoja, said the Armed Forces of Nigeria, in collaboration with other security agencies, had intensified operations in identified vulnerable areas. The Defense Headquarters wishes to inform the public that robust and proactive measures aimed at preventing any attack during the Christmas festivities have been in place. Additional troops have been deployed to strategic locations and routes, while Special Forces unit and air support element have been placed on high alert to ensure rapid response capability, the statement also stated. And so I'm happy to see that as we approach Christmas, just 2 days to Christmas, and then we still have another week to the New Year celebration, and that the Nigerian Army is speaking, and hopefully some of the red spots, like some of the areas in Plateau and in Benue, we're not going to be getting excuses as, it's an overnight attack again. One would expect that by now, military squad would have been positioned in some of this red alert location. And to see again, I saw a video on Saturday, contrary to speculations that the insecurity this season would affect Dirty December in Lagos. The traffic in Lagos State across, from Friday up until Sunday, and I believe a continuation of that this morning, is a testament that even in between all of the insecurity, some people have still decided to come into, Lagos State, which is, of course, what a lot of Nigerians have described as the economic capital of our nation. But I would like you to comment on the statement of the military and some of their plans.
What the military is doing is the right thing, but it is not the whole measure. You understand? What if after the celebration, what happens? It's good that they have mounted surveillance across flashpoints in Nigeria, but that is just for the moment. The issue still remains: how do we address this insecurity in such a way that we do not continue losing lives in Nigeria? What they have done, beautiful. Kudos to the president and the military. But this is just for a moment. It's the fire brigade thing. What at the end of the day, how do we address the real reason why we have insecurity in Nigeria? How do we address it? And how do we bring it to a minimal level? Because across all nations, you have insecurity. But Nigerian own appears to be skyrocketing on a daily basis. So what the military has done is a very good one. But my question is, after the celebration, the day after, what happens? Do we go back to sleep? the insurgents, the terrorists, and their enablers, what has the government done to prosecute, to arrest and prosecute them? Because the reason why we have these killings all over the place is because there are no consequences. The government has not been able to do something that, look, if you are caught or if you are an enabler and if you are involved in terrorism, you pay dearly for it. That will serve as a deterrent to other people who would like to toe the same line. But this one they have done right now is good. But what happens after the celebration? Now, coming to 30 December in Lagos, Lagos has never been, Lagos doesn't have a problem of insecurity as such. It doesn't have. What Lagos has is a problem of overcrowding. People is trooping in to do one thing or the other. They don't have problems of insecurity. Why? Because if you look at all the states around, Lagos doesn't have forest. If you look, because it doesn't have forest, it doesn't have
hiding place.
There's no place these guys can hide. There is Lagos to the closest state to Lagos is Ogun State, and if you get to what do they call this place? This border town between Lagos and is already developed. It's already developed. What is happening in Lagos is already extending to Ogun State. So you don't have forest where they can hide because they need a place where they can hide. That's why Lagos doesn't have the problem of insecurity as such. What it has is a problem of people duping one another, 419 and all this. But when it comes to insurgency, Lagos does not. Even if you troop into Lagos to cause mayhem, you will easily be caught. Yes, people will know you. And I don't think Lagos has put any measure in place because they know they don't have such problem. But a place like Oyo, we have such problem. Or Obamosho, she has boundary with almost the north. And if we share boundary with Ikwara, and it's just very close. So we have insecurity problem in Oyo State, but Lagos will not have it. That's why people are trooping there for their 30 December or whatever.
All right, that's a quick assurance there from the military, saying that they are putting everything in place to ensure that Nigerians have a very great time during this holiday, to ensure that nothing goes wrong there. The police also speaking there in Rivers State, also enhancing security in that state to ensure that things go well. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning, the army kills 21 terrorists and also intercept logistics in Borno State. I know that one day we will definitely see the end of all of this.
We will, by God's grace. There's something I want to add here, Ayo. You asked where I went on over there. I remembered on Thursday,
all right,
I followed somebody, an elderly woman, Yoruba woman, invited me for a wedding. And I've not been to Iwo Road for a very long time.
Oh.
So I went and...
you started asking, where did everybody go?
I'm telling you.
Yes.
In fact, when somebody does something good, we must commend the person.
Absolutely.
Sheyi Makinde did well.
Very well.
Sheyi Makinde has done very... In fact, I was... If I had seen him there, I would shake his hand and tell him, man, you have done well.
I mean...
In fact, Iwo Road was looking like what I saw in Ghana. In those days, because Ghana has this kind of thing. They call it, if you go to Circle, there's a place they call Circle in Ghana. You won't see motors on the road. They're all in the park.
Yes.
Where are you going? Aflao, you take a bus. So I went to Iwo Road, I couldn't recognize the place again. I said, is this what Sheyi Makinde is doing?
I mean, the first time I saw it, sometimes late last month, and where did everybody go?
Honestly speaking, I was so happy, and I said kudos to Sheyi Makinde. I'm saying this here because I believe that when you do something good, we tell you. That's the essence. We have to encourage people. Absolutely. But the problem there is that even though he provided the pedestrian bridge, our people have still not learned their lesson. I saw women with babies at their back trying to cross the road. Why are they still doing? In fact, I suggest that they should put people there. When they arrest, you pay 10,000. Because yes, Ayo, when you cross that road, there is already a facility provided for you to. I saw women. I said, what is wrong with our people? You see that they have provided a place for you to cross over easily without endangering your life, and you are still running across like a rabbit. What is the problem? You understand? So kudos to Sheyi Makinde.
Absolutely. and to chip in something there, I would like to call the attention of the governor to challenge
Yeah.
Because the same way the terminal was created, at Iwo Road, on both sides.
On both sides, yes.
So you can see that the moment you are coming from the express and then you are approaching the flyover, crossing you into Akobo axis and the likes, the whole place is free.
It's free, very free.
But if you come to Challenge, we have a terminal here at the old big filling station and then the other one where they used to call the Afunsheto roundabout. But still look at both sides of the road.
Yes.
If you're approaching from Ring Road, it's still not looking different.
Different, yes.
So whatever measure they put in place to ensure compliance in the road should come back to Challenge.
To Challenge also.
People selling food stuff and the likes have occupied the pedestrian pathway.
Are causing a problem.
Coming from Felele.
Felele, yes.
They have occupied both sides of the road. So if Mr. Governor can do it in the road, why not?
Why not?
I'm sure that he can replicate the same in Challenge. So thumbs up to the governor.
Yeah.
It's not all the time we come and say the governor is not doing this.
Did well.
Governor, you have done well.
You have done well.
We clap for you here. All right, on the punch, Nigeria suffers nearly 1 trillion naira export loss from Donald Trump's tariff. Nigeria's exports to the United States fell by 940.98 billion naira in the first 9 months of 2025, even as imports from America more than doubled, reversing the trade balance that favored Nigeria a year earlier. Findings from the National Bureau of Statistics data have shown. An analysis of the NBS figure of the fourth quarter to the third quarter of 2024 and the first quarter and the third quarter of 2025 showed that Nigeria exported goods worth 3.65 trillion naira to the U.S. in the first 9 months of 2025, down from 4.59 trillion recorded in the corresponding period of 2024, representing a decline of 20.5% of 940.98 billion. Over the same 9-month period, Nigeria imports from the U.S. rose sharply to 6.8 trillion from 3.1 trillion, an increase of 125.5%, or 3.78 trillion naira, indicating that Nigeria brought far more from the U.S. than it sold to the market in 2025. This left Nigeria with a trade deficit of about 3.15 trillion to the United States in the 9 months of 2025, compared to the trade surplus of 1.57 trillion in the corresponding period of 2024. Import and export. And so the indication of all of this is that Nigeria bought from the U.S. more than we sold to the United States.
It's not surprising, but Ayo. That was what Donald Trump, when he had the trade war between him and other nations of the world. He has been imposing unnecessary tariffs on so many countries, and that has isolated America in a way. You understand? So Nigeria is a weak economy. There is no way Nigeria will compare with US. And Donald Trump is not. He doesn't take prisoner. He will impose tariff on our country. Why he's doing that is because he said America first. Yes, America first. So whatever we are doing, we must put our country first. If we address the problem of insecurity in our country, Ayo, let me tell you something. If you have ever gone outside Nigeria, the other of all African countries, you understand that Nigeria occupies a very unique position. But the problem we have is that we have people who don't even understand how to manage our diversity. Nigeria is great. We would have been into Africa what America is to the West. If we have organized ourselves very well, you'll be hearing Malian Nigerian, Ghanaian Nigerian. That's what you'll be hearing, Liberian Nigerian. But we have leadership that does not even understand what it takes to fix a country and make it a global and create a global identity for Nigeria in terms of, because what we have, most African countries don't have it. So if we develop our place, I met a man who told me that that America is afraid of China. And if you look at the trade war between China and America, you can see, you can read the handwriting on the wall. He said, in Africa, America is afraid of Nigeria, but they believe that Nigerians will not get their ass together. That's what the man told me. If Nigeria should get their ass together, we give America a good run for their money. If we organize ourselves very well, most African people from African nations will be coming to Nigeria to settle, do business, and will expand. But because we don't even know where we are going, we have no blueprint, We have no national ethos. We have not even identified who we are. And those at the leadership cannot even manage our diversity. How much more when other Africans are coming to live in Nigeria? Can they manage it? No. And we have enough wealth here. Sitting on wealth. Look at the gold in the north. Look at the gold in Zamfara. Who is mining them? Non-state actors. Look at all the solid minerals across all over Nigeria. And yet, we are so obsessed and fixated only on oil, which even other nations are making plans that by so and so number of years, they will stop using it. And we are still bent on oil. And we are not even managing. Look at what NNPC has become. Look at the messy scandal in the oil sector, because we cannot manage ourselves. If we do it well, America will be. That's why I still believe that, look, when you talk of investment, when you put your house in order, investors will come. You don't need to go begging them, because they are bringing their money to do business, and they know that they will gain when they come and do business with you. But because you have not arranged yourself, you have not put your house in order, how do you expect them to come? So America is doing what it's doing because they know that we are at their mercy as far as trade is concerned. There will be no trade balance between America and Nigeria.
Let's take a break very quickly. When we come back, we're going to look at what the federal government said here. The federal government pledges resilience. And of course, the statement of experts on this particular matter. We'll look at that and more when we come back right after the break. Stay with us.
Christ Ambassadors International College is a private, co-educational Christian day and boarding school located at Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. We offer a blend of Nigerian and British curricula designed to nurture global leaders with godly values. With world-class facilities, exciting co-curricular programs, exceptional pastoral care, and outstanding academic results, we ensure your child's dream becomes a reality. Our entrance examination for 2026-2027 academic session will hold on Saturday, 14th February 2026 at 8 a.m. For inquiries, please call 0704-530-8414 or 0814-177-2806 or visit www.christambassadorscollege.com. Christ Ambassadors International College, nurturing global and godly scholars.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour.
I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data.
Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service.
One Data?
Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811 223 2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafi Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. 1635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
Family is not defined by blood, events, headlines, or frequencies. It's our shuffled feet in the busy streets, the levity of the birds upon the brown rooftops, indigenous, nuclear. The blue sky coming to greet us on a sunless morning, safe, clean, wholesome, somewhere between truth and fiction. Wells Radio 89.3 FM Oluyole Estate, a gallery built from mere words of culture, heritage, music, brush strokes visible on an artwork, the rhythm of repetition. Family is not defined by blood. It is togetherness, heirlooms in diaspora, with open arms to embrace through thick and thin. This home, your family, this radio is your radio. My name is Jesu Joba Isaac. We keep listening to Wells Radio 89.3 FM.
All right, you're welcome back to the program. Thank you so much for joining us on Perspectives Unlimited this morning on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. You too can join the conversation right in the studio this morning. But before then, studio time check, it is 7:05 right from our studio. Studio line 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, and 0911-333-3893. You want to comment about the statement of the military to beef up security during the Christmas celebration and the New Year? You can say something about that one. And before the break, we're on the story. Nigeria suffers nearly 1 trillion export loss after the United States President Donald Trump's tariff. Now, statement by expert here. Stakeholders led by the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce and the Nigerian Export Promotion Council noted that the United States tariffs should not be seen only as a challenge, but also as a window for growth. Also, a development economist and chief executive officer of the CSE Advisory, Dr. Aliyu Elias, said Nigeria should view the current trade situation as an opportunity to adapt. I think it's a good time that this is happening to Nigeria, he said. Donald Trump's tariff is not only for Nigeria. The advantage is that we are not exporting more overall, which is positive for us, he said. Elias argued that Nigeria could use its position within the BRICS and other international alliances to reduce vulnerability and reduce resilience. He added that with other countries such as India and China also facing U.S. tariff, Nigeria had an opening to forge new partnerships.
You see, we are still very, very vulnerable. As far as we depend only on oil, we are very vulnerable. There's no way our vulnerability will just go away overnight, unless when you talk of diversification of economy, are we diversifying? Yes, are we diversifying our economy? No. The answer is capital no. We are not. We are not looking in the direction of if we are diversifying our economy, the solid minerals we have, the textile we have, our refineries, everything that we have in Nigeria, we will make it work. We are not in any way looking into other areas of earning money. If we do that, our economy will not be vulnerable. But as far as Nigerian and the American relationship is concerned, business is concerned, we are still very, very vulnerable. And look, BRICS will not even come to our help. Who are the nations in the BRICS? How far is their economy faring? That's one question you have to, because before you go to a man's house to ask for help, you must look at the man very well. Is he eating well? When you go to a man's house and you see him sitting on the floor, it will be foolishness to ask him for a chair. If the man has a chair, why is he sitting on the floor? So our economy is still very, very vulnerable.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
This is Adirunke from Muslim.
Good morning, Adirunke. Thank you for calling us.
Yeah, thank you. Concerning the military that has provided novel security for this coming letter is a good one. Welcome, very well important. But not that they should not only make it all about during the tight period that they will be making enough security for we the citizens. Lives and properties of citizens should be of utmost priority to them. So what after the military system season? So I just urge them that they should also provide enough security even after the military system, not only during the military system. Military time. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adirunke, for your call.
So that is exactly what we do. Look into what we have, diversify the economy. Let's bring in people who understand what it takes to run an economy that is not, because what we have now is an economy that is begging. We know what it takes to develop our economy, but are we doing it? We are not doing it. And when you are trying to make other areas of the economy to work, you also cut down on governance. Yes, cut down on governance. Make sure that, look, we have, because the essence of government is to make sure that people live well. If economy is growing and people are living below breadline, what is the essence of the economy? So, okay.
Let's take this call. Good morning to you.
Good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, Mr. George. How are you doing today?
I thank God.
Thank God, yeah.
I wish you people Merry Christmas in advance.
Amen.
Thank you, and you too, Mr. George.
Yeah. They will not think of diversifying any economy. Their aim is just go there, grab, share it among those who will support you so that you will not leave that place on time. That is what they are doing. These things they are doing, unless we, the masses, I don't say go and protest or go and do that. We should plan a perfect way of calling the attention of the government to what they are doing to us, that we know it. So that if it's going to be picking people who can speak for the masses, let them meet with the government, discuss with them and tell them that this thing they are doing, one day it will expire and people will revolt against you. That is what we should do. We are complaining, wasting our money, calling radio station, talking every morning. And these people will never do the right thing. If we, the commoners, can know that they are not doing the right thing, you want to tell me that they themselves don't know that they are doing the wrong thing? So this is just it. Chukwemeka, you said Lagos does not have forest and the rest of it. But Lagos is a populated place with different character of human beings. So even security in Lagos, if we don't take time, the day it will blow, it will look as a surprise to one of us. So they should please make sure that they take good care of Lagos. During festivals like this, people troop out of Lagos, so the place will look less populated. But that does not mean that they should not take care of Lagos as far as security is concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. George, for your perspective on the program this morning. You can call right into the studio using the phone lines 0916-893-1000, 0915-334-893, and 0911-333-3893. Right after the show, I'll be reading up on some other nations, of course, because we're not the only nation slammed by the United States.
A lot of nations, a lot.
New tariff.
A lot.
And I would like to see what their figures, look like in the first, second, third quarter of the previous year, and then the first, second, and the third of this year. If the figures are balanced, and looking at, we can do the subtraction and see why is our own case like that? Is it still because of our peculiar nature of bringing in something that is more foreign? Or is this, not selling or taken to the United States predominantly a factor of the tariff, or our regular culture of really not exporting anything?
It's a factor of the tariff. It's a factor of so many things. Number one is that we still export raw materials. I learned they have banned the exportation of wood. That you can no longer take wood out of Nigeria. Do you know we have a lot in Nigeria? There was a particular tree, I don't know the name, in Kogi State. Chinese people came over here. In fact, when you go to Kogi State, you won't find that wood again. A friend told me, he called me and told me that he didn't know why they were coming to take that wood. They took away everything. Only God knows.
What's special about
I don't
the wood?
know. I don't know what was, but they took away everything. Thank God they are banned exploitation of wood from Nigeria. These are the things, Ayo, that we have natural resources and we are wasting them because everything about us is oil. Once you put oil, everybody will lose his mind. But there are other things in Nigeria here. Do you know that the whole of North, if we can stop insecurity, the whole of North can feed West Africa? But we can't. Do you know that if we go ranching, not this all this diseased cow, they are parading all over the place. If we go ranching, Nigeria will compare with Argentina. Do you know there are so many things to be done here, but we can't do it because our leaders are not wired to think in that direction. All they're after is oil. Everything oil. Morning oil, night oil, even afternoon oil. Is that as if that is the only thing we have in this country? That's not the only thing we have.
All right, still on the program this morning, Perspectives Unlimited. On the Vanguard, why presidency raised 2026 budget by 58 trillion naira. All right, the writer to the story says, works on details as Nigerians await the breakdown. The presidency raised the 2026 federal government budget from the 54.46 trillion originally contained in the premier or medium-term expenditure framework to the new threshold of 58.18 trillion to accommodate the massive recruitment into the military, the police and other security agencies announced recently by the president. The Director General of the Budget Office, Mr. Tamuno Yakubu, announced the figure after a meeting with the Federal Executive Council held on Friday, a few hours before the president went to present the budget to the National Assembly. A presidency source disclosed that the submission of the budget proposal by the ministries, departments, and agencies to the Budget Office of the Federation, which usually follow budget call circulars, have been concluded before the recent announcement to increase the personnel of the military and the security agencies. It was learned that it was therefore necessary to increase the budget figures to make room for the financial implication of the new intakes. The last Friday FEC meeting was preceded the announcement as learned did not last for more than 2 hours and did not accommodate detailed discussion on the budget by members of the council. Mr. Yakubu, therefore, directed to address the State House press to give it credence. All right, Nigerians are keeping their fingers crossed to get the details and the breakdown of that
the budget.
Addition,
you see, the budget is 58.18 trillion. And the worrisome aspect, because if you look at the breakdown, expected...
The original one was 54.46.
Yes, before they raised it to 58.18 trillion. Yes, the expected total revenue is about 34.33 trillion. The worrisome aspect of the budget is that we are going to use 27% of 58.18 trillion to service our debts. That's where people are worried. 27% of 58.18 trillion for debt servicing. Now, and the capital expenditure should be about 26.8 trillion and budget deficit 23.85 trillion. Ayo, it is when the rubber meets the road, we'll actually know what is going on in the area of this budget that has been presented. And don't forget the brouhaha that is raging around the tax laws, the harmonized legislation, what was gazetted and what the people agreed. There is a lot to unravel. But Nigerians are keeping their fingers crossed until January, when the drama, everything begins to unfold. But the issue is that when we are budgeting, and do we really put the people into recognition? Do we factor in the welfare of the people? Because if you look at, anyway, let me not just say some of the things.
I mean, go ahead. If they are radio friendly,
it is well. It is well.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed here.
Yes.
From what we have from the government, it's saying that this new increment in the budget is to accommodate the massive recruitment into the military, the police and other security agencies. And of course, some of the questions will be that how much are these people going to earn? Because of course, when it comes to security issues in Nigeria, we heard that some of the military men earn some ridiculous amount of money. The police earn. Is all of that, is that old figure?
Do you know
what is bringing us
Ayo, let me even shock you.
Trillion?
Some of the countries in Africa, the entry fee for soldiers, 250, 180. Nigeria is 60, 50, 60,000. How do you, no, with all the wealth we said we have, how can you give such a money in your own conscience? You give such a money to a young man or a young woman who wants to enter into service to protect the country. You are giving him 60, 50,000. Egypt and all this 180. South Africa is about 250. Kenya, all of them, even Ghana here. Go and check their entry fee and see how much they collect and see how much ridiculous money Nigerians are collecting. And yet we boast of being the giant of Africa. So if this thing will improve, these guys that are good, they are going to recruit good because they deserve it. When a man signs, a woman decides to join as the military, you have signed your life off, and they must be protected. Apart from that, we must take care of our people when they are even out of service. Do we have portfolio for this one? Do we have any arrangement for them? Go and check what happens to our policemen when they die in active duty. Go and check what happens to their families. Ayo, Nigeria needs a lot of massive shake-up so that we begin to live like other nations of the world.
All right. From what we have on paper here, debt service of the loans that we're currently servicing, about 15.2 trillion or thereabout. If you look at the percentage of that to servicing the loan,
and we are still borrowing,
and we're still going to borrow more.
We are still going to borrow more.
This may not entirely really balance after all, and Nigeria may still even need some more money to balance things up. 0916893 1000, 0915 333 893 and 0911 333 893. The good news here says remaining 130 students abducted in Niger State regain their freedom. Hello, good morning, and thank you for calling.
Yeah, George calling back.
All right, Mr. George, thank you.
You see, I don't always celebrate budget when I start here and presenting budget and calling the big money. Budget is like me telling you now that in this coming new year, 2026, I'm going to spend 20,000 naira. Do I have 20,000 naira? That is one thing, and that's why they keep borrowing money. And the money they are borrowing, we are not seeing what they are using it for. So that they call big money does not always make me to feel happy. Budget is an estimated something. We are expecting to do this. If I have the money, and now we don't have anything we are doing to be able to get the money we are budgeting for. So these are the things. So I'm not rejoicing over a big amount of budget that every one of them is mentioning now. Very few governments, either state governments that I can see that are doing things that people are saying. This morning you started praising Sheyi Makinde. Yes, I also praise him because I see what he's doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you so much for your call. Chukwemeka, 130 remaining students in Niger State from the St. Mary Catholic School in the Rafi local government area of Niger State have reportedly gained their freedom. A security official familiar with the rescue operation confirmed to the Premium Times that particular report. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Chief AY.
Good morning, Benga Myra. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Thank you very much. Let me start with the Abeokuta axis that you talked about when you were about starting the program.
All right, go ahead, Benga. Yeah.
That is the rule I apply every day, from Monday to Friday. Oftentimes, I go once in a while on weekends. And it's just a sorry case. By the time you start driving from Ibadan, we get to that axis. Towards that railway, there's a deep pothole there.
Yes.
We have series of trailers that are falling in that particular pothole, that particular spot. Even there was a time that I think it was not last year, that a trailer fell on that particular spot and it crossed the road. I mean that railway axis. So there are people that are motorists that are coming from Abeokuta, they have to stop over at that spot. There are other transportation motors that are coming from Ibadan. They'll pick them from that spot and get them back to Ibadan. And that was what happened. It happened for like a day or 2 days back then. So when you get to share, to get to data, in fact, you have to be very cautious whenever you are driving. And that is why I always tell you that whenever I'm going, like this morning now, I'll soon be on my way now again. So and I drive every day. There's no way that you apply that route that will not go take your vehicles to the mechanics or something. And let me tell you this. I have a colleague of mine that was opportune to be with the governor that was assigned the duty of walking on the road, as in doing just a kind of passing the road. And the government formed a panel, a committee to just maintain the road. And I was in a meeting with that guy last week, and I said, how far about the road? The governor are commissioning you guys to do a kind of palliative work on the road. What the guy told me, I cannot say it on here. I can't say it on here. So I just have to keep quiet. So I kept quiet, and I was like, well, God is our land. When Obasanjo was the president, he was the president for good 8 years, and he ought to. Obasanjo is from Ogun, and he ought to have been the one that to have done the road. But what we have, people, it's the leaders that are not even sincere. May God bless Nigeria and heal our land. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gbenga. Thank you so much for your call. I would like to know what you heard from the guy. I would like to know. So maybe I'll reach out to Gbenga. I would really like to know, because
tell us off camera.
I'm very concerned about that road.
And you know that that killer road is too narrow. That railway too narrow.
Very. I mean, the road in itself is a very narrow one. At the time when we probably should be talking about
expanding the road,
dualizing the road.
Dualizing the road.
It reminds me of another road. That's Bibada Jabode Road. You know, that's another conversation entirely, with the whole kidnapping and some of the stories we've heard about that particular road, only to get to different point and see very, very heavy potholes. And then you begin to match the words of the government as to we're fighting insecurity, and then we're seeing this deep pothole on a road where we're getting report of
and that is the point where they normally wait for motorists.
Absolutely. It becomes worrisome. I'm not sure of the current state of Ibadan Ile-Ife Road. When I followed that earlier this year also, it's an eyesore. I just hope that, we are putting things in place so that we don't always come here and do this complaining. But let's talk about the remaining students.
We thank God they are back. They've not told us how they were, is he released or rescued? They are not the same. Rescued, it means there was an action taken by the state. Released means that the kidnappers became tired of the children and released them. So we want to know how they were rescued or released. And another thing again is government should come clean on the issue, anything that has to do with kidnapping of children. Over the week, teachers threatened that the leader, the president of Nigerian Union of Teachers, one Titus Amber, he threatened that if security is not provided for schools, that they will withdraw their services. Yes, he said it over the week, and that's a worrisome one. So we must know how these children came back home, and also the government must do something to stop this incessant kidnapping of children from their school, especially in the north where it is very, very prevalent, because they have issue of education. And now kidnapping children, are you telling them to go to where they were kidnapped? Don't you think it will affect school enrollment? Don't you think it will bring them down again, the ladder of education? So government must be proactive and stop this game that is going on in the area of kidnapping children, taking them to the forest and bringing them back. And we don't want this again. Next year is 2026 is just how many days away. Government must put their thinking cap and find another way to protect schools. Schools, especially all over Nigeria, not only in the north. These children have been with these savages for how many weeks now? I mean, now they are back.
Think about a month.
Psychologically, is there anybody taking care of these children psychologically? Have they been taken somewhere to determine the extent of damage on the psyche of these children? You don't just bring them in and allow them to stay with their parents. Some of them will remain with this trauma all through their life. Ayo, let me even shock you. At my age, trauma is a terrible thing. What I saw during the Civil War, do you know that when the issue of war comes up, it still comes back to my memory. I still remember everything. as if it happened yesterday. So these children must be well treated. Take them to where they'll be tested. Everything about them must be in order. And we begin to debrief them. Let me use the word debrief. Because they've been in captivity. And let them know that this is not life. That they are still, the society still needs them. There are so many things to be done. So, counselors will come into the game and let these children be debriefed.
All right. Finally, I'd just like you to come and say a word or two. I am the only monarch with authority to install titles covering Yoruba land.
I think the Alaafin of Oyo is a controversial person. And from one controversy to another controversy, I don't know. I'm not a Yoruba person. I'm not too vast in Yoruba history. Whether he's the only monarch entitled to confer, but I know he will not be, because from a little knowledge of Yoruba history, I think Oni is still there. He's still, unless they have rewritten another history.
That's another controversial. That's another controversial issue that you don't want to touch.
I don't want to
Whether
touch.
it's the Alaafin or the Oni, we keep getting different versions of the story. All right, but we want our land to be preserved.
Yes.
And out of all of the controversies, thank you so much, Chukwemeka.
Thank you for having me, Ayo.
For your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sam Adile, let's talk about AFCON very quickly. I'm very interested in AFCON. What's the preparation like for the Super Eagles? Do you think we're going to make any good thing out of this AFCON this season?
Well, good morning, Ayo Emmanuel. It's a matter of perspective, just like your program now.
Perspective.
To some, it feels like this is our time to get the 4th title, while to some, they feel like this is the weakest Super Eagles that will be going into the tournament.
What's your own view? Do you think this is the weakest? Do you think this is the best time to get something?
Well, I'm on defense.
Just be true to yourself. you would know these things.
Well, I think we have too much controversies leading to AFCON. So for that reason, I'm not really optimistic.
Do you see us crossing over to the next stage?
Definitely. Okay. We are talking about the final.
Do you see us winning?
No.
Getting to the final, go?
Well, that's where I'm in defense.
Well, when Nigerians are not even sure. Anyways, let's pray for the Super Eagles as we march to the AFCON. Hopefully that would be a very great, New Year gift to brighten us up. After all, sports and entertainment remain one of, the strongest smiling force for all of us in Nigeria. It's definitely going to be a great week. It's a week of Christmas, whether with chicken or with fish or with mama, whichever one you're eating or putting on your table, eat it with Jesus' joy and celebrate the reason for the season. God bless you. Good morning.
Please listen to this important information. The views expressed by the interviewee in this program are their own and do not necessarily